But ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, June 1st, 2019, the British invasion continues, as Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing USA has put together an incredible fight card. And of course, at the top of the bill, the heavyweight championship of the world, Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. But the undercard is worthy of being at the top table. And I have to say, I don't know if the American fans really know what they're in store to see on Saturday night. I'm talking about the dazzling hand speed and great footwork of the 147-pound charge from Sunderland pretty boy Josh Kelly, or the explosive power of the great 175-pounder from Croydon, Joshua Buatsi, or the transcendent talent of the Irish fighter, Katie Taylor, or maybe the best 168-pounder on the planet from Liverpool, Mundo Callum Smith, and more. It's a great undercard, and now here to tell you all about it and introduce you to the great fighters for the card here Saturday night at Madison Square Garden, the man that put it together, the architect, the president of Matchroom Boxing USA, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
That was one of those really reluctant claps, wasn't it? You know, thought you could have done better. Welcome, welcome, and what an honor to be sitting here in Madison Square Garden in a theatre where I've only managed to get to the theatre in terms of promoting. Promoted at this great venue right here twice. Danny Jacobs winning the IBF Super Middleweight World Championship. Also Demetrius Andrade defending his world title in January. But now we upgrade to the Big Daddy, the mecca of boxing at Madison Square Garden, the big arena. Sugar Ray Robinson against Jake LaMotta, Joe Louis against Rocky Marciano, Ali Frazier 1 and 2, and who can forget Mr. T and Hulk Hogan against Rowdy Roddy Piper as well. One of the great nights at the Garden. We know that, of course, we've seen everybody here, and Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz at the workout yesterday. What a turnout. I think it shocked the American media, it shocked the American public that we can create interest and great crowds and great moments at these fight week events. And that's what promoting is all about, building a crescendo to a night of boxing on Saturday that you will really, really enjoy. In fact, you will see one of the great atmospheres in this country for boxing on Saturday night. Around 8,000 Brits coming here to sing Sweet Caroline, to drink your bars dry, to show you how to create an amazing atmosphere. And just a few hundred tickets left now. We will have a complete sellout on Saturday night at Madison Square Garden. So if you haven't got your tickets, you need to do so very, very quickly. This is an amazing moment promoting the World Heavyweight Championship at Madison Square Garden, but we needed to produce an undercard that we could all remember. I needed to make sure that our creme de la creme got the opportunity to be in major fights and showcase their talents on this kind of stage. I'm so excited. I can't even begin to imagine how excited these people are to get the chance to box there in, for some people, career-defining fights. As always, we'll be streamed live on DAZN in America. And for the UK fans, Sky Sports box office, what a night you've got in store. The Champions League, Liverpool against Tottenham. And as soon as that fight, which probably will be a fight as well, but that game ends, we're straight over Sky Sports box office and we get the action underway for hours on hours of excitement and world-class World Championship boxing before we go to the main event. And of course, the undisputed Women's Lightweight World Championship. It's just a fight that we've wanted for so long. It's always been the fight when talking to Katie and Brian Peters, who's here somewhere. I haven't seen him yet. Hello, Brian. And the team, Ross, you know, this was always the fight that we knew would be for the Undisputed Championship, because Delphine Persoon was the champion who is a big name, has the opportunity to take fights in Belgium. She's a big star over there, but she was always the toughest of the champions. And we have saved the toughest for last. The winner of this fight will be the undisputed world champion, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, and delighted that the Ring Magazine belt is on the line for this fight as well. Of course, a belt which every fighter wants to win so badly, a belt that this young man to my right also holds, but just a belt that is so important to fighters. And I'm so excited for this fight, but I'm so excited for both fighters in this fight, because to fight an undisputed fight here on this kind of stage, I'm sure is a dream for both fighters. And we're going to start with Delphine. Delphine, welcome. A massive occasion for both of you on Saturday.
Yes, Belgium is a small country. If you see New York, I think New York is bigger than the Belgium country. So for me, it's a lot of a bigger place. So the boxing sport in Belgium is, how do you say, not recognized. So I'm the first boxer that can make history for the Belgian boxing sport. So yeah, for me it's very excited. I can set the boxing sport on the court in Belgium, and yeah, I can, if I go for the fight, and I'm gonna go for the fight, and I can win the fight, I think I'm the first Belgian boxer that can make, how do you say it, history, and that can be undisputed champion, take all the belts, take the ring magazine belt, and yeah, for me, yeah, I like it. It's my passion. I want to do everything for it, and we already prepared 2 months for this fight. My trainer was already 2 years looking for this fight. He thought we never get a chance to get this fight. No, I get a chance. We are ready, and yeah, we go for it.
It's such a great fight. You and Katie, definitely number 1 and number 2 in the world. Probably pound for pound, the top 2 fighters as well, right up there in women's boxing as well. And expecting a tough fight against Katie on Saturday. She's looked very good in her career. A small number of professional fights compared to you. We know you're undefeated in 9 years, but expecting a tough fight on Saturday.
Yes, I expected surely a tough fight. She got a lot more, how do you say it, experience in amateur fighting. I only was 1 year amateur because in Belgium, like I say, the boxing was there not very big and there was no national team, so it was not possible for me to go to the World Championship or European Championship, so I got no chance also to go to the Olympic Games, and Katie Taylor is an Olympic champion. For me, this is also something I can, how do you say it, I got no chance to go to the Olympic Games. She is the Olympic champion, so now I can compete with the Olympic champion and hopefully defeat the Olympic champion. For me, it's something I don't have the chance before. And everybody knows, yeah, world champion is great, but Olympic champion is also great. And now I can compete with the Olympic champion. For me, that's very important. I want to, how do you say it, do everything in my career of boxing, and now I got the chance to do this.
Thank you very much, Delphine. Thank you. Katie Taylor, as we know, been a phenomenon since she laced up the gloves. Used to go into the gyms, put the head guard on, pretend that she was a boy to make sure she could get the fights and get the sparring. If you haven't seen the movie, go to Netflix now to watch Katie. Incredibly, she hasn't watched the movie. I mean, how can you not watch a movie about yourself? It's unbelievable, but she hasn't yet watched it. But if you haven't watched it, you must watch it. It's an incredible story. And she has been an incredible sportsman for Ireland. She really is a legend there already. 6 European championships, 5 amateur world championships, Olympic gold, and of course already captured the WBA, the IBF and the WBO world titles in such a short period of time. But on Saturday night, she gets her chance to achieve what I know she set out to achieve when she turned professional, which was to win all the belts. And we saw her box here on the Canelo Field in Undercard, and it was just incredible. You know, the atmosphere when she fights is something else, and the reception she got yesterday and the reception she will get on Saturday night will be incredible. And it is, as she says, the biggest night of her career so far. And when you look at everything she's achieved so far, that should give you all the indication you need to tell you how important this fight is. Katie, I think I've said it all. I'll pass over to you, but this is everything to you, this challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I think the minute I turned professional, I wanted to become the undisputed champion, and that this was always my goal. So I nearly pinched myself that I had this opportunity in a few days' time in the Mecca boxing in Madison Square Garden. It can't get any bigger than this, really. So yeah, I'm just ready to make history. I'm ready to perform on Saturday night, and this is what I've always wanted.
I know you study your opponents as well, and like I said, all the conversations we've had in the past was Persoon is the real test for me. You know, she is the best champion in the division. This is before you had the belts as well. And we always felt that would be possibly the hardest fight to get, but now there's too much on the line for it not to happen. Are you expecting by far the toughest fight of your career on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. Delphine Persoon is a fantastic champion, and this is exactly what boxing needs. This is champion against champion, the best versus the best. And This is what, not just what women's boxing needs, this is what boxing needs, and I'm definitely expecting the toughest test of my career, but I do feel prepared for this challenge, and I've had a really tough training camp over the last few months preparing for this fight as well. And we're both here to make history for our nations as well, and we're both here to perform, and it's going to make for a very exciting fight.
Obviously, everything you've achieved, the European Championship, the World Championships, London 2012 for the gold, this would be your finest moment, you believe, to have all those belts, and again, the Ring Magazine belt as well, absolutely everything.
Yeah, this is by far the biggest night of my career. This is the pinnacle of boxing, to have all 5 belts. The Ring Magazine belts, as you said, is up for grabs as well. This is exactly what every fighter dreams of, really. So I understand how big this fight is, the magnitude of this event, but I can't wait for this. This is why I box. These are the fights I've always wanted, and I'm ready to make history.
And last one, obviously, like I said, a legend in Ireland, the whole country going to be watching and waiting in the ring, probably around 1:30 UK-Irish time. Not too bad, not too bad. You expect a lot of people to be up, and obviously you have an entire nation behind you.
Yeah, the support I've gotten over the last few years has been incredible, actually. That they're all behind me, they're all cheering me on, and I hope to make everyone proud at home.
Thank you. We can't wait for that. Katie Taylor against Delphine Persoon for the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO and Ring Magazine World Championships on the line, the undisputed Women's Lightweight World Championship. We move on to the super middleweight division, and again the WBC, the WBA, the Ring Magazine titles on the line when Callum Smith makes his first defence against former world champion France's Hassan N'Dam. Hassan, welcome. You always look $1 million. It's always great to see you, and a great opportunity for you to become a 2-weight world champion on Saturday night.
Good. Hello, everyone. Thank you. I want to first of all thanks Adrian, thanks my team to all the work they do for me. Thank my wife. Thanks everyone to be here this morning for this press conference. First of all, when they called me to fight Callum Smith, I think a little bit. Why? Because Callum Smith tomorrow Saturday you're gonna watch 2 friends, 2 brothers, because my father is here. We have a good relationship as friend, as brother with Paul, with Liam Smith, with Callum. And I saw him grow up in this sport with Joe, who make him very good career. And I saw him go to England Championship, European Championship, and super middle and super champion. He helped me, I helped him. And Saturday, my trainer told me, you tell me every day you want to face the best in the world. Why you think about? You have opportunities to be in the big card like that in Madison Square Garden. Everybody dream about. So make your dream come true, and say, okay, now we're gonna put this friendship out, and we're gonna go to fight Callum Smith as opponent, not as enemy or something like that, because he has something that I want to be super champion too. So Saturday gonna be a 2 hard worker fight, so don't miss it.
Hassan, you've boxed at a very high level. Obviously the win over Murata, you boxed Lemieux as well, you boxed Peter Quillen, you have a huge amount of experience. Do you think your experience is important in this fight? We all know that Callum Smith is a huge super middleweight, but you've been at middleweight for a long time, and moving up sometimes helps fighters as well. Do you think your experience is important on Saturday night?
You know, this is my first time in this level in super middleweight. I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but I feel good. I feel like middleweight. It's not important to me to be very fast, very slow. I think I have experience for this kind of match and this kind of event. But Madison Square Garden is something that everybody wants to dream to be there. So I think, yes, my experience is going to be a very first point to this match.
Thank you very much, Hassan. We pass over to the defending champion, who we saw at the end of last year put in amazing performance to become world champion and knock out George Groves in the final of the World Boxing Super Series tournament. It was a real big moment for the Smith family, an incredible family when you think 4 brothers, all of them have challenged for world titles, 2 world champions as well in Liam Smith and Callum Smith. It's an incredible story, and they're a fine bunch of men, and they've been great to work with over the period. This young man is emerging now as not just the best brother potentially, but potentially one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Already the standout #1 in the 168-pound division. The mega fights are within touching distance, and now, firstly, he defends his title for the first time. And we can't wait, because this man we've represented from his professional debut, and to see him grow to this level is extremely exciting. We know he's got a tough fight on Saturday, but like I said, the mega fights sit within touching distance. Callum, welcome. No better place to make that first defence.
No, yeah, I feel good. I'm excited. I feel like this is like a new chapter in my career. Everton previously was always the journey to become a world champion, and now I've achieved that. It's now, let's see how much more I can achieve, and no better place to start my journey as a world champion than Madison Square Garden. It's such an iconic fight venue with a lot of history, and to add my name to some of the Brits who've boxed here over the years, it's going to be a special night for myself. And so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to putting in a big performance. I've been out a little longer than I'd like to have been, but I want to make up for lost time. I want to get back and remind people how good I am.
Yeah, obviously I got a bit of stick for that. We know that a lot of it was because of the birth of your daughter, but you were supposed to fight last month, and we talked about that with Joe, but this was the date that you wanted, a lot of these guys wanted, and this is the platform. You know, we talk about the Canelo fight, and we know you've got business to take care of on Saturday, but this is the platform to really go and make a statement. Yeah,
there was other shows mentioned, but the minute Madison Square Garden was mentioned, and AJ show is a bigger platform than any other, it's a platform I plan on taking advantage of, and there's talks of massive names and possible fights for me in the future, but to secure them fights, I've got to perform the weekend. I've got to put in a good performance. I've got to win, most importantly, and put myself in line for the big fights, which is what they're the fights I'm in boxing for. They would excite me, they would motivate me, and I want to maximise my potential and achieve as much as I can, and all that starts on Saturday.
You've shared rounds with Hassan N'Dam, obviously, over the years. We've seen him in some great fights at middleweight. Expecting a tricky fight on Saturday, someone with experience and very determined as well. Yeah,
he's a good fighter. He's very experienced. He's mixed at the highest level. He's a former world champion himself, and only the better fighters have beat him. And I believe I'm the best super middleweight in the world, and if that's true, it should be enough to beat Hassan, and should be enough to beat him well and look good doing it.
Finally, it's a massive night of sport for British fans back home. Obviously, you'll get a chance to watch the big match before heading to the arena.
Yeah, hopefully, Liverpool can get a good win over Tottenham, win the Champions League, and then go into the early hours. And myself and all the other top British fighters, it's some of the best fighters we've got back home on display the weekend. And they say it's a good night of boxing and football for the country, and especially for Liverpool.
Thank you, Callum. The World Super Middleweight World Championship on the line Saturday night. Callum Smith against Hassan N'Dam. We thank you for your time. Obviously, you know the fight week schedule remaining. Tomorrow is the final press conference for Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. And then on Friday, the big weigh in Madison Square Garden. Doors open at 3 p.m. If you haven't got your tickets yet, for people watching this, make sure you apply for your tickets. A couple of thousand already gone. We're quite limited on space, so make sure you apply. It's completely free to enter, but make sure you do grab your tickets for that. Thank you. And to all these guys, good luck. And I'm so proud of you and jealous of you that you get a chance to go out and just have an incredible night on Saturday.
That's the front page. Ladies,